During the bipartisan talks going on at Bomas of Kenya, one can't fail to notice the light moment and harsh moment when comedians come and when enemies meet. For instance, there was a moment of laughter when a group from Homa Bay County came to teach senior lawyers some basic grammar in the 2010 Constitution that every leader ignored. The legislators were left happy and laughing as the eloquent man from Lurad taught them some English. The lobby group also proposed that the National Tallying Center be abolished and remain with county tallying centers.
Our concern is that this ill fight has been coming out whereby citizens of the Republic cannot realize their social economic rights. It is because of politics. So for us, we say that a president needs to go for a single term of 10 years. 10 years. We wanted the president to go for a single term of 10 years. If he finishes, he goes and packs together with his deputy president. That is our thought. Like Kimani Chungwa is saying, Honorable Kimani Chungwa is saying, majority leader, one man, one coin, or one shilling, one man. So for us, for this to be realized even to us, we have to create a super county.
I use that when I have ever said one.
He has also spoken about it.
So that looks like this committee has not even been given water. So I think we want to appeal to those who fund these people, at least to provide them with basics. Having said that, I want to give the committee some of these documents just so that we are at one page. Those guys must stand. Don't they have it? Oh, okay.
I said earlier on,
Yes.
that you don't want to see members of parliament impeaching a president.
Yes.
That should be left to the people.
The people, yes.
Do it themselves.
Yes.
But are you still alive to the provisions of Article 1?
Yes, I'm alive to it.
That allows the public, the people,
Yes.
to delegate their sovereign power
Yes.
to elected representatives.
The wording which is used in that given article, Landed Council, if I may, if you look at the sovereignty of the people, it says that all sovereign powers belongs to the people of Kenya and shall be, underline the wording shall, mandatory, be exercised only in accordance with this constitution. The people may, optional, may, optional. That is it, John.
No, complete it,
May exercise their sovereignty power either directly or through their democratically elected. So the wording, the conjunction may. Right.
Thank you very much.
Yes. And I think that is a plain language in law.
Thank you, Michael.
Yes.
Any final? Tanzania. Continue, tafadhali.
They also proposed a 10-year term for president and his deputy, and there should be only one term where the president and his deputy should retire from politics once the term is over.
May let him go.
Before he goes, let me go.
Before you go, maybe Michael, we shall let him go. Because May is optional.
Before he goes,
He may opt not to go.
Michael. Yes,
very finally.
Yes.
You are seeking for the creation of a constituency to be named Kanyaga.
Yes.
Out of the present day Homa Bay town.
Yes.
Constituency.
Yes.
What would the other constituency then be named?
For instance, Your Honor, you come from Ugenya constituency.
I come from Ugunja.
Ugunja, yes, Ugunja constituency.
Yes.
So Ugunja is for Ugunja clansmen. In their interest, it is being catered for. Right now, our counties are experiencing the rural-urban migration, and you will find that we have the local natives, like honorable member seated next to you, Arun. He has got the Ogie community. Yes. Ogie can also have their constituency because they have got their own challenges they face. So for us, the urban setups we find that right now we have like the Tomboy universities, we have students from all walks of life. Right now the university has taken a portion of roughly like 20,000 plus, if you include with the local residents who are working within, and then the local natives will be left with no representation. So that is the reason as to why we are saying that each and every area has to be represented, including even Soba County.
So the constituency will be called what? That was a question.
No, the constituency we want is Kanyada constituency. There's no problem.
The remaining part of Homa Bay?
Homa Bay town constituency,
okay,
because it's a cosmopolitan.
Kanyaga now will comprise. Michael?
Yes, Your Honor, yes.
No, you said we remove the National Tallying Center.
Yes.
Then how do we collect all these results from the polling stations and centers? Where do we tally them?
What we've heard about this from the scenarios of elections which have been held, the 3 elections, after the Maina Kiai's case, and what the judges had ruled upon, we saw it that normally at Bomas is where the fight is, not right at the polling station. So after all the results of the members of parliament have been declared, MCAs, governors, women reps, and senators, everybody dashes to the National Tallying Center. So we're asking ourselves, why is it that everybody is dashing towards the National Tallying Centers and yet they are voted at the polling stations? So, for us to have a beautiful country, this country we cherish, honorable members, let us be candid enough and honest to ourselves so that future generations will not suffer the same fate.
But where do we then?
So tallying, that is what brings me to tell you about this. We have 47 counties, and this will bring the aspect part of the electoral colleges. So if we have like 64,000 polling stations in the entire republic, and presidential A has got 50,000, definitely he is supposed to be declared the president.
I think we scrap the National Tallying Center.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and move it to electoral colleges.
Okay.
That is what we are saying.
I'm rushing because of the urging of the committee.
No, your time is truly up, Governor.
It's not a question of rushing. I think it's time we stop.
Yeah. And therefore,
seriously,
what we recommend on inclusivity,
Governor,
what we
your time
recommend
is up.
on inclusivity, the rule of law, Madam Chair,
Chair,
a public apology.
Do you think it's good that you also listen to what we have to say? That your time is up. You have now done 1 hour, to be honest.
You guys are
and yes, you have done 1 hour. And we had agreed that each team gets a maximum of 30 minutes. You've now done 1 hour, and you're clearly far from finished.
Yeah, no.
So I think we be
Madam Chair,
allowed
we are
to
not
ask questions
we are not
now.
far from finished. We are not far from finished.
Let's urge that you wind up.
You see, Chair, just before that, allow me to register a protest.
And you know, as you register, Aaron, I think the country has taken cognizance of the fact that this is the main complainant. So clearly, we should be able, as a healing process, I want to suggest, listen to them. Not just brush things under the table.
Co-chair, while I agree with you completely, you'll agree they have had an hour, which we haven't provided to any other group before you. So clearly, it's been an hour. It's been an hour.
No, the only thing I wanted to ask, co-chair, I agree with your guidance. Maybe you just need to guide on how many more minutes do we give them? Given the fact that when KK was here, I personally hurried Malala out of the seat because I was respectful of the rest of the people that needed to present before us. So maybe if you could guide on a proposal of 5 minutes.
Thank you.
Kindly, please.
5 minutes, yes.
Okay. 5 minutes, we have agreed, please. Because you have not even addressed the issue of fidelity to political parties, which I think is key.
I think the two.
You can do that in a minute.
And the gender rule is not yet.
I think the gender rule has been so well canvassed before this committee, but not so much the issue of Jubilee, for example.
It is 403
you want
by
to get away without
408, you
talking
should be
about
done.
Jubilee. So, Fadali, just
We are guided. The gender rule is up. CK, 1 minute.
We'll take into account the gender rule.
Thank you very much. I think it's important that we give Azimio women this chance because we actually put together a memorandum to the.
Please proceed.
1 minute.
Proceed.
So, as Azimio women, there are 3 broad issues that we have canvassed, and we have looked at the 6 bills that have been in Parliament that have failed. We've also looked at the 6 petitions that have been to the Office of the Chief Justice that have also failed, and we also looked at the BBI, and therefore we saw 3 overarching.
In a clash moment, former Senator Hassan Omar and Kalonzo exchanged words on who is educated more than the other. They took a moment to lecture each other on a monetary business and dynamics going on, expressing their shocking understanding. When Azimio team came to air their views, their representative fully ignored the chair, who is from UDA party, and couldn't stop even when the time was over, as Kalonzo rose to defend them, adding time contrary to the committee decision on time.
To Kenya. So therefore their demand on the dollar is not as high as our demand on the dollar, and therefore there has been a certain weakening by a shilling or so of the Kenyan shilling on the basis of the demand. Secondly, we have removed the controls that the central bank used to have. The central bank used to fix a dollar rate on a daily basis. So you go to buy in interbanks, you get a better rate. You go out in the market, you get a lower rate, you get a much higher rate. So we decided to allow these controls out so that this dollar swims in its own market.
Okay,
I can
Hassan,
tell you.
thank you. Let's allow.
That's okay.
I think I've been given the opportunity.
I will have a session with Omar and teach him how we did foreign exchange liberalization, even under Moi.
And I will also teach you what we are doing right now.
No, you haven't answered the question about the Tanzania shilling.
Kindly, Honorable Eugene.
I think the team appearing before this committee today, if it was a case, this would be the main complainant on behalf of the people of the Republic of Kenya.
The committee has since closed the public views collection and now will sit down and reconcile all those details and come up with a final report that will be taken to Parliament, where MPs will debate the report, either reject it, approve it, or approve it with amendment.
I was your chair in the students' government.
That was your vice chair, yes.
And then we co-chaired the technical committee. But the point I want to make, and in response to what Hassan has said a bit in a low tone, in the 2002 elections that you seem to be referring to, the gentleman you seem to be referring was not even a candidate. Yet elections were free and fair, and everybody accepted them as such. And so I want to demonstrate to you that if we could avoid, and you see there is this notion that the current president was not in government. Yet he earned salary as deputy president up to the month of September. I mean, who recruited the Chebukatis of this world? No. I can tell you the intrigue. Chebukati was second last. How he even became chair of the commission is a mystery that we need to investigate. In all recruitment processes, the top 3 can do the job. How did the second last person become the chair? That is manipulation that happens.
Maybe can furnish us with that report.
And that is the openness we want in the recruitment process moving forward.
Report that Chebukati was last in the second last.
Second last, and we know even the points. If you want me to tell you,
with that report.
We know even the points.
Furnish us with that report. In fact, we hold you to that. We will wait for that report.
We know even the figures.
Later your report.
And we know even how people say, this Akombe, how good do you think she is? We know even the debates that went on. And so don't tempt us.
I'm tempting. We are tempting you to bring that report.
Super, don't also try and intimidate us. And I want to kindly request.
Of the civil society will not get you anywhere.
Excuse me. Sorry. I kindly want to request that we don't go the route we are going.
Exactly.
Because I don't think
peddling unsubstantiated.
yeah. So Suba,
Yes.
I know you can be a real politician. Please be a civil society
Chair.
professional right now.
Chair.
Avoid getting into politics.
Yeah.
Yes.
Chair.
We could equally come here and peddle all manner of stories about what we know, or what we know in the sense of what Suba is saying,
yes,
about what happened to Chebukati. But we have chosen to rise above that. We want to stick to issues. So I want to request him to please spare us the innuendos and the stories that we hear outside there.
Aaron, as we do so, because this is a serious engagement, let us avoid demonizing. Because I've listened to Omar over time, saying one constant factor, another constant factor. I want you to know one of those factors has been sitting here with you. Because as a running mate to Raila in 2013 and in 2017, okay? And I know you were my Secretary General.
Considered the election of 2007 and you Peter Katikati up.
No, that's a different thing.
Kindly, Suba, kindly finish one.
Of course I did. It's a fact I did, and I saved your country.
Kindly, Suba, finish.
You know, when you stop being childish, Omar, we'll make progress.
Hassan, let's
don't get angry, sir.
Okay, let's Hassan.
So you'll never be governor of Mombasa. I can give it to you.
That's why
now this is going.
President of Kenya, I can give it to you.
My session.
Hassan, I kindly request that you contain yourself. Hassan, kindly.
I mean, let's
Hassan, kindly.
Let's
stop attacking Raila.
Co-chair.
Cannot come here and also start to intimidate us.
Co-chair, I beg.
Be governor here, governor there.
But we even expected. Kindly, Hassan, kindly. We've done so well.
Everybody, I'm so ashamed that at one time he was Secretary General of my party. I really apologize.
I now want to beg kindly that the two of you now, kindly, I beg you, stop what you're doing. Let Super Churchill have his last minute so we can move to the next one. Kindly, I beg you.
I wanted to respond to issues relating to the protests. Now, quite often, and the model. Now, you talked about the model, yes.
And may I kindly request that the exchange be expurged from the Hansard, kindly.
I've said that there are three different election management body models. There is the independent, there's the governmental, and the mixed model. In countries that have developed, that have overgrown the culture of theft of the vote that is so rampant in this country, they don't care about government officials running the elections. And that's what happens in countries like the United States of America, in Finland, and so on. People have trust in institutions. I've said that our election management body, that is appropriately called Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, is only independent in name. But as soon as they are appointed, they lend themselves to manipulation by the state. And that's why I've said, because we seem not to have strong personalities of the kind of that led the first constitutional commission, the first generation of constitutional commissions were led by people of impeccable and strong character. We seem to be losing those commissions as days go by. And that is why, in my view, and considered view as an election observer for many years, I want to plead with this committee to consider restoring peace in our electoral process by enabling political actors to have a say, not just in the appointment of the panel, but in the commissions themselves. Because as the 2002 election has demonstrated, and which we all celebrated, for the first time, I was in Kondele monitoring elections. The people of Kondele went to the street, not to throw stones, but to celebrate Kibaki.
Maybe
we need to consider that, so that we have.
We've had you, Suba.
Lastly, on the gender issue.
Yes.
You know, you and I were here at Bomas. the constitution, the draft constitution that we adopted had a different electoral system. It is that electoral system that goes with the 2/3 gender principle. When Abdikadir Mohammed and company went to Naivasha, they changed the electoral system without revisiting the principles. It is my submission that looking at the memorandum that His Excellency the President William Ruto sent to the two chambers of parliament, looking at the proposals here to entrench position of leader of official opposition and that of prime cabinet secretary, there is a yearning for a parliamentary system of government in this country. Publicly we deny it. But the reality is that when you look at all these arrangements, including entrenchment,